Right, so today, as you can see, we're looking at my sofa again. Actually, I don't think we've ever done anything on this sofa. We've used my grandma's sofa, but never my sofa. Here we are, my sofa. I'll stop waffling about my sofa. Yeah, so anyway, today we're going to do a video on some cut price corsets I recently picked up. So yeah, I think anybody who has followed my channel for a while is probably aware that I'm big into corsets. They're all of my blog. Most of the modelling work I do involves corsets. I am big into handmade. I am definitely a fan of custom made to measure corsets. I'm not really a big fan of off the rack corsetry. And basically I want to do a series of videos that illustrate why I prefer handmade made to measure corsets. So anyway, a local goth shop to me had a closing down sale recently, and I picked up a few off the rack things. And this is going to be an intro video to my series, and I'm just going to show off the two I bought. So you can expect to see both of these again in a video later on. It might be soon, it might be a wee while, because I've got a lot of wedding planning and stuff to do at the moment. But I'll see about doing some more videos with these corsets as soon as I can. First of all is this, wow, eye-searingly garish number. I actually, if it wasn't for this frill along the top, I probably quite like this one. It actually, surprisingly, does have quite a nice shape on. I am unable to show you a picture of it on, because I've not actually been able to put it fully on because the ribbon in the back is ridiculously small and I don't have spare corset ties at the moment, so I haven't been able to actually get it on properly, but I have tried it over my waist, and yeah, because of like this bit of patterning here, it has quite a nice shape. I'm thinking of taking a pattern off this one and making something up in much better materials. As you can see, it does have quite an alright busk down the front here. It is in the correct way. You'll start to see why this isn't great in a second. It is a little bit of a flimsy busk, but you know, at a push I could probably reuse this if I do take a pattern off it. I might put another bone underneath just to strengthen that up a little bit. Same with that side, because that is quite bendy. And now you're going to see what the problem is. Yeah, this is one layer. This is one layer of satin. Actually, is it even satin or is it polished cotton? No, it is satin. It does look like it's a sort of 2-1 satin. It's just polished on the top and not on the bottom. Yeah, it is one layer. So that means if you tighten it up really very far, it's just gonna tear. All of the bone casings are internal, and these bones aren't great. Basically the bones are cased with some kind of, I think it's a knitted felt, which is not good for bone casings at all. Really, this is just flimsy and awful. Yeah, I just feel like if you put any amount of lacing into this, it would just tear. As we can see here, it does have a modesty panel. I'm actually really not a fan of modesty panels. Some people like them, some people don't. It's personal preference. I think actually what puts me off modesty panels is you see them a lot in cheap flimsy pieces, because you know you're not able to tighten them up very much, so they have a massive gap. And of course you put over the massive gap, you put this modesty panel so you can't see your back through it. Yeah, you'll also notice that there is no bone, no proper boning next to the eyelets. All of the corsets I have bone either side, but of course this boning is really thin and flimsy. And yeah, so the eyelets, if you put again any amount of pressure on them, they're gonna tear. If I just, yeah, that's gonna go fairly quickly. You know, the ribbon wasn't very long, but you know, that happens quite a lot. That's, you know, that's not a big deal. That can be swapped out, but I just have the feeling that if I put this on, I'm not going to be able to tighten it up at all. It's just gonna tear. which isn't good. Yeah, this tag here, made in China. It's half cut off, but I think it's claiming, focus, I think it's claiming there to be 90% polyester, 10% spandex. I've had a bit of a feel of this. I don't feel any spandex in this whatsoever. Spandex is slightly stretchy fibre, and I just don't feel it. It doesn't need to be like crazy super stretch Armstrong stretch to contain spandex. Skinny jeans quite often contain spandex to stop them going baggy at the knees these days. But yeah, I don't feel any spandex in that whatsoever. So if the, you know, I would not be surprised if that is 100% polyester. So, not impressed with this, but I did think I could take a pattern off it, but given that I paid £3 for it, that's not bad. However, its full price was like nearly £30, and yeah, not cool. You can get much better for that price. I don't think that would even survive one night out. Now this is a lot more like what you will find commonly on the cheaper end of the corsetry market. It's mostly better than the blue thing, however it's not really got a very good shape. I did actually manage to get an alright shape out of this when I tried it on over the top of another corset. However, you know, if you're going to have to wear a decent corset underneath this, you're not really getting that much of a bargain, really. But yeah, I suppose if you do have one, you could, in theory, use it as a Swiss waist over the top of a different corset and have some shape. Yeah, this one, again, busk is in correctly. However, I would just like to point out that this was on the hanger, the opposite way up, and I thought it was an underbust until I got home and noticed the booby bits, and then realised, actually, it's an overbust. But yeah, I will give them points for the busk being in the correct way up. If you give me a second. Wow, this is hard to do whilst holding a camera. La la la. Yeah, busk, as you can see, much heavier duty busk. If I was to its part, which I'm not sure I'm going to, I might just keep it as a demonstration of, you know, what a shapeless corset looks like. If I was going to tits part, I could probably reuse this busk quite easily. As you see, the other side is okay. Something quite interesting here, we have a underlap, which is not something you see very often in cheap corsets. It's not really something you see very often in high-end either. It's always somewhere in the middle, quality-wise, because in cheap corsets they don't put them in because it's extra fabric and, you know, they're constantly saving costs. In more expensive corsets, they don't put them in because they don't need them, because if it's cut properly, you're not going to have a gap. Because basically the underlap is so that if you have it on, if there's a slight gap between the two pieces of the busk, the underlap just hides that, really. Yeah, inside we are lined, which is a good start. Yeah, really decent quality lining. It claims on the tag to be denim, which, you know, I could see it being, excuse my foot, I could see it being denim. What else do we have on this tag? It's 28-inch waist, satin, silk and polyester. Don't think this is silk. I could be wrong, it might have some silk in it, maybe it's just a little bit. Don't think it does. I think if it does, it's only a very little bit, and this is mostly polyester. But okay, as you can see, wider boning, better boning channels. It's still not couture, which is what a decent corset would have. And that's, oh, focus, that's probably not going to be too comfortable on your skin, but it could be worse, you know. If you're just wearing it for one night out, then yeah, okay. It's going to look shapeless, but, you know, it should be bearable against your skin. Along the inside, we do have a waist tip, which is quite surprising. Again, something you don't very often see in cheap corsets. Oh god, a cat hair. It is kind of an interesting waist tip, though. It seems to be there just for decoration only, because it's quite a thin satin ribbon. I am slightly worried that that would cut into your skin not very nicely. Yeah, waist tip, if you're going to have it, should be a bit stronger than a satin ribbon. I'm a little scared that that would probably rip as well because it has nothing behind it to reinforce it or anything. But, you know, still better than the last one. Decent eyelets. The ties seem to be this weird ass shoelace kind of stuff. Probably isn't going to feel all that great, but it's better than that ribbon in the other one. Again, modesty panel. Yeah, this one actually isn't too bad. It just doesn't really have very much shape. I can't demonstrate that in this video, but I will in a future video. My plan is to get a number of black underbusts, including one from a decent company that does ready-to-wears, well, a company with a decent reputation that does ready-to-wear. I'll just try and neaten this up. Yeah, one from a company with a decent reputation that does ready-to-wear off the rack corsetry, and a handmade, made-to-measure one, so you can see what the differences in shape are properly, because, you know, yeah, I think really the only way to explain why I love made-to-measure corsets so much is to be able to see visually. Just another thing there, when this is on, just one thing, this is going to wrinkle, because as you can see here, there are some wrinkles here. Basically, if the pieces aren't held together taut enough or sewn in the correct direction when the corset is being put together, you get these wrinkles. It's particularly bad on satin because satin's quite a slippery fabric, but yeah, even satin, a decent made-to-measure one, won't have that many wrinkles. So yeah, basically, yeah, I think if you wanted a corset for one night and one night only, or maybe like a couple of occasions, then this one could be okay. It would stand up to that. It could look quite pretty. It would be a lot more shapeless than I would like, but you know, personally I like to be incredibly curvy. But it does have its place in the world if you can, you know, if you can get over some of the flaws I personally couldn't. And yeah, but it's alright. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, and neither is that blue thing, believe it or not. I might actually include a picture of my very first corset. Well, it wasn't my first corset, but my favourite corset when I was 19 at the end of this video, and then you can see what the worst corset I've ever seen looks like. Anyhow, I'm hoping to get a couple more black overbusts and we can test my theory out fairly soon, and I will see you then. Although I say then, there's probably going to be a bunch more videos before then. But goodbye for now.